Are we on?
I think we're on.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is our first ever patron-only hangout. So thank you if you're here. That means you either donated to us or you somehow found a link, in which case, fuck it. I'm not going to stop you.
It's too late.
Yeah, but thanks, everyone. Seriously, if you're here, thank you. You're the people who make the show run. And that's pretty cool because I enjoy doing the show.
Right. It's not saying that this is on.
No, it will, though. There's a lag.
Is there a lag?
Yeah, and now they're looking at us like we're fools.
Well, it's our first time.
See, there you go. Now it goes. There you go.
Yeah.
So, as we're going, since this is the first one, the format's going to be a little different than we wanted it to be. We wanted to do videos and play them for you guys and talk about them a little bit like Drunken Peasants, but not the same kind of content necessarily.
No, also, no Scotty, so that's a win.
However, what happened was we were not privy to the technical details of Google Hangouts.
I didn't know that we couldn't do stuff. Apparently, they don't want us to stream you movies because that would be illegal.
Yeah, so we could show you video, but there's no audio, so we're going to have to get with someone else who knows more about that than us, and next time we should be able to do some videos. But today, instead, what we're doing is we're going to just talk a little bit. You guys can ask us questions, so if you have anything you want to say to us, questions, comments, whatever, do so, and we'll talk to you guys. We're also going to do a special comic book, which is not a chick tract, but it is another Christian-type comic.
Is this one that we've... Sorry. Is this one that we've gotten requested before?
Yes, someone sent these to us a long time ago, and I've been meaning to do them, but we've been
good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like almost like a parody of chick tracts, not in the extremes, but in the fact that the tropes are so much more obvious. So I want to talk about something a little bit timely.
The GOP debate?
Yeah, the GOP debate happened last night. If you
First of all, you guys should follow us on Twitter because when we do that kind of thing, we're fantastic. We were tweeting goddamn gold last night.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
I mean, sure, I'm agreeing. Do I have to be enthusiastic about everything?
No, I just, not a little complacent.
Anyway, but yeah, we were live tweeting that, and what a fucking weird debate. Donald Trump, if you don't know, if you don't follow politics at all, the business tycoon, the guy with a building with his name on it. If I had a building with my name on it, that's how I'd like people to introduce me.
We should have a building with our name on it. It should be, we should each get our own buildings. It should say Jake building and then Hugo building, and then they should have alley fights with the workers, and they don't know what their job is. They just know that we keep sending them in alley fights, and all it is we sit on top of the buildings with binoculars on either side, and we look down into the alley, and then they're fighting in our honor.
You know what would have been ideal for this? Twin Towers. Thanks, Al-Qaeda. Anyway, so Donald Trump is running for president, and he's a weird fucking guy. I think Donald Trump is really stupid. I think Donald Trump is wrong about almost everything he's ever said in his life.
You know what the best part about his whole set was? And I'm going to call it a set, because I'm pretty sure it was just like a routine he does. It was when she asked about like bureaucrats and giving money to politicians and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, I did it, and Hillary Clinton had to come to my wedding. She was forced to do so, and like he was super honest about it. He's like, I give money to like several people here, and they're all like, and then some of them tried to make light of it, like, you didn't give money to me. He's like, oh, I will if you start winning.
I know.
Like,
as much as I do think he is stupid, I respect the fact that he's up there being like, no, there's tons of bribery in politics. I've been a part of it. Let's all make it known. Right? Please vote for me. Also, the part where, hold on.
What?
Nothing. Anyway,
you reading?
Yeah, I was reading. Sorry, guys. I know this is live. Not used to the live thing.
No, I don't care.
I loved the part when the woman moderator who works for Fox News, because Fox News is who put on this debate, said,
Megyn Kelly?
Yeah. She said, you said some derogatory comments about women, and she was trying to list these off, and he's like, no, I didn't, like, stop, and he's, like, telling her off and making a joke, and then the audience is like, yeah, tell that bitch what for. We're the Fox News audience.
No one likes Megyn Kelly, though.
No one does either, but I'd assume if anyone's going to, it's the Fox News audience.
I know, right?
But they're like, no, she's the blonde that we hatched in a field from, the Talking Heads field at the Fox News offices.
Butted off of Bill O'Reilly's ego. And then they got into like sort of a yelling match for a little bit. But beyond Trump, people like their token Carson,
the neurosurgeon.
A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he really spoke well and he represented himself well." compared to the other Republicans on the panel, yes. Maybe Jeb Bush, who surprised me in not being a total idiot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think I'm going to vote for any Republicans anytime soon.
I'm not either.
But still, top three. Who are your top three? Trump's got to be in there just out of entertainment alone.
Trump's number one for me, just because he's so fucking crazy, and frankly, he's the only one on stage who doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. He doesn't need to be there. The other people need to be there because this is the next step in their careers. They're career politicians. Now I'm going to run for president.
I'll agree with your number one. My number two is Jeb.
Okay.
Is that your number two? Because I liked that he was not read. He was obviously writing party lines with his like Christianity and his we're gonna shut down borders but he was still seemed more reasonable. Like in his head, he was like, yeah, I got to say these things. It won't be as bad when I'm president, but yeah.
I think what happened was he's aware that he's the brother of George W. Bush, so he knows he has to steer against it and go a little more moderate and be a little more reasonable. Still, I disagree with him totally. Yeah. Even the most reasonable Republican, I'll have ideological differences with. Three, who was my third? I know we talked about it.
Rand?
Yeah, Rand.
Nuts.
But he's a libertarian, and I'm not all about that anyway, but at least he's not spouting.
Christie was okay.
Oh, I fucking hated Christie. Christie brought up 9/11
as
a justification for spying.
That's why I liked it. Because he was like 9/11, I hugged Obama. And then you had a really good rant earlier, which just between the two of us.
Yeah.
And you mentioned how often he references like his hometown and
they all did.
Yeah, but he was I don't know.
I could write a biography about every single person.
You know who was the worst? The worst one, in my opinion, was the guy from Wisconsin, Governor Walker.
Yeah.
He was so just like rehearsed and kind of like, and this is why I think America is the most America.
A lot of them sounded like that. Just so you know, I'm not just on my phone. I'm looking at you guys' comments on here, so you don't think I'm fucking being complacent and texting or something.
I'm just on my phone.
That's good.
Text my grandma.
Someone talking about Bush 3.0. Yeah, I get it. I get that you don't want a third Bush. I wouldn't either.
I don't want it. I don't want it either. I'm just saying, like, out of the top three, there
were worse people there than Jeb.
Oh yeah.
But it's a shallow pool to fish in. Let's say.
Alas Vera says, Hugo, you're so cute. You own a cute.
Oh, that's good. I've always wanted a cute. Like those. That could be something like the Tribbles from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then like Con Blood or something.
Lee Clemmer asks, hey guys, do you seriously plan to do this as a job? Air quotes, make enough money to live on it? Not an air quotes job. This is our actual job.
We've been doing this for a job for almost a year.
Yeah, and we make more money doing this than we did
in our last
jobs. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't a great restaurant that we actually worked at together, but I mean, I was in upper management.
Yeah.
Still not even close. And Hugo was almost in management. So I mean, like, not a thing.
So don't get me wrong. We're still like,
apartment.
We have 3 roommates. This is an apartment. We're not making fucking a fortune.
No.
But we're making enough to like eat food and not be hungry.
No, we're not rich. We have like Markiplier money yet.
No. If we had Markiplier money, we wouldn't even have a Patreon. We'd just be like, here's money, all of our fans. Not really. Don't hold us to that. We're not going to give you money.
I would like to give more to charity though. Hopefully we can do a charity event this year.
Yeah, we wanted
to next year.
Maybe next year, just because we're still in a transitional.
I know. I'd like to do it this year. It is a little close to our leases up in the wintertime.
And we got to figure out different stuff.
A lot and shit. And there's going to be all sorts of stuff.
Chuck Merritt says, hi, Hugo. Hi, Chuck Merritt. What's going on?
That was a terrible one. Lee Clemmer again says, he quoted Donald last night saying, and we talked about this, Jeb needs to build a wall. Does he know where Jeb Bush lives? He lives in Florida.
You can't build a wall around Florida. It's an ocean.
To keep Cubans out? He's like, Little Havana is too populated. I do not like Cuban sandwiches. Why would you put mustard, ham, Swiss cheese, and I don't know what else they put on it. Pickles.
I don't like Cubans either.
I love Cubans.
The sandwich, not the people. I don't like Cuban sandwiches.
I don't like the people.
I've never met a Cuban person. Maybe they're garbage. I don't know.
I used to live in Florida, and there's a really awesome Cuban place down the road, and every night they had this thing called a tripleta. And what it was it's 3 meats. It was beef, pork, chicken, and it had like those Cuban rolls that are really good and crusty that they press, and then it was just cheese. And something else they put in there, Cuban things, and it was just the leftover meat from the day, and it was fucking awesome. And they only did it for like 2 hours at the end of the day.
I'd eat that.
Oh my god!
I'll have a weird leftover meat sandwich.
So good.
Someone said they hugged me after 9/11. That would be creepy because I was pretty young right after 9/11.
I remember 9/11. I have a good story about 9/11. I may have told it on the channel before.
You might have. I don't know.
I was like in 7th or 8th grade. I remember the teacher. He was the math teacher. His name was Mr. Scrotenbor, and yes, we made fun of that last name.
That's the headline you need.
We called him Scrody.
Yeah,
and he was the creepy guy. He had he's actually dead now. I found out a couple years ago. He died from a heart attack.
R.I.P. Scrody.
In his 50s, or maybe he was in his 60s. I don't know. But
did he die of a testicular issue? Because
that would have been hilarious.
That'd be hilarious.
I think it was a heart attack. He had a long nose, and he had these tiny little glasses that he would keep on the tip of his nose and read. And so they were always down here. And he was the creepy teacher that would like rub the girls' backs when he was giving them math advice. Like, oh no big deal. Just trying to get
that's the thing.
Just trying to get your knots out. You know, I'm being.
I'll give the early 2000s, 90s this. You couldn't get away with that now as a creepy teacher.
No,
there'd be lawsuits everywhere.
Definitely not. But
quirky pedophile teachers were a thing. If you're younger than us, it's nostalgia. You just say, "Oh man, I hope that teacher never gets alone with this student because they're gonna get raped."
Yeah. Oh god. But to my knowledge, he never actually went through with any of the molestation.
Oh, that's good.
Every girl was creeped out by him. It was before high school. It was 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
Anyways, so 9/11 is a day that I was there in that class.
Yeah.
And plane hit something we don't know, obviously, and then he turns on his TV because they all had TVs in their rooms, and he just starts watching it. And we're doing homework or something quietly. I don't know what kind of. I don't even remember anything about that class, so maybe we're just fucking around. And then we start noticing that it's serious.
Yeah,
we don't know why, and we're like, why are we watching this? And Mr. Scrody there is just like beside himself, like this is a big deal to him. And then another plane hits, and he goes, "Oh my god!" And then a girl, her name was Candace, and she was a redhead. And I remember particularly that day, she looked really awful without makeup on. I think it's because her eyebrows and eyelashes were the same color as her flesh, so it was it was like weird. And I remember looking at her, thinking, "Wow, she looks terrible." And then these words came out of her mouth. She goes, Were there people in those planes?"
Oh no!
And then I went, "Yes, you idiot. That's how planes fly." and
Jake being Jake on 9/11.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
and then we watched it during lunch because we're
I was because for those who don't know, I'm 6 years younger than Jake.
Right, so you were not probably cognizant.
No, I remember it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
but I think it's one of those things that it was so strange at the time that's why I remember it. I didn't really understand until my parents explained it to me later that day. But I know they took everyone out like into the gym and everyone watched it. For me, it was just like we didn't have to do work for the rest of the days, and that happened at like 10 in the morning. So I was like right on, which sounds fucking awful. I was very young. Did
you get Uncrustables?
No, I don't think those didn't exist yet at the time.
In 2001?
No, those were like a 2008
what existed
invention.
In 2001?
Not a whole lot. Lunchables, fruit roll-ups.
Dunkaroos, were those phasing out yet?
Dunkaroos were starting to phase out.
Were we still trading Pokemon cards? Were you to judge whether or not it was a thing? You were more in your deep childhood than I was.
I wanted Pokemon cards, but I did not trade them. I just had them. I collected them.
You were an only child. It makes sense.
So I guess that's probably enough about 9/11.
Why were we talking about 9/11? Oh, because the president things were happening. If I ever become president or get on podium, I'm going to tell that story, by the way.
Okay.
You dumb bitch. Of course.
People on those planes.
R.I.P. Because I'm smart.
R.I.P. Scrody.
Poor Scrody.
God.
You got a question or a comment?
I'm looking. You people are terrible at questioning things.
Hey, the hell did you just say, Pete? Who's Pete? Hapless Pete.
Hapless Pete.
Moving house sucks at the best times, and I know I'm not available to help. Okay, Pete, we talk on Twitter a lot. I have no fucking clue what you just said either.
He's talking about the fact that we were talking about moving from apartments.
Moving house sucks at the best of times?
That's a
like
very
even in the best day, moving still sucks.
Yeah.
Not if I pay Cubans to do it.
Skeptic Spider, I think, is shocked by how much younger we are than him.
Fucking hell, I was in technical school for the year. Yeah. He's on my fantasy football team. No one knew.
Hashtag Jake for Prez. You don't want Jake for president.
Sure you do. I'll be eligible to be president. What year is it? I have several years. And
I couldn't even math that.
I need to be 35, so I have 8 years to go.
Okay. Well, in 8 years, I will not vote for you. Like, as much as Trump would be hilarious, it would be dystopian.
I would be an excellent president.
GL says, I see you have a Star Wars comic cover on the wall. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Are either of you reading the new series from Marvel? No, I'm not. I've been in the comic book store and seen those, though. They look cool, and there was a variant cover for the new first one that looks just like this one, which is like a 1970s
this one's really
comic.
Cool. I like this one specifically because Darth Vader's green.
Yeah, it's just because of the shitty printing at the time.
I know why. I still dig it, and also Luke looks like a badass, and he's not that in the movies.
No, but yeah, the new comic had a variant that was just like this, but redesigned with the modern
cool stuff over here. I guess I can show you guys around.
Oh, I'm a little wary of moving this whole thing.
Why?
Okay, I mean, if you want to.
Check it. Oh, I should. Okay, I'm not gonna look at the watch page though. I want to make sure that our camera is good. Well, because you have cool stuff over here. I like it.
Okay.
There's our outside. There's some Superman stuff going on right there, and then there's some Batman stuff, and then there's some trinkets. There's a did we get you that
the Darth Vader? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's some Doctor Who stuff over here, but that's too far. We're not gonna.
Well, you're gonna get into it. There's a TV on the wall there, so here. Yeah. See, that went well. Huh? Tour of our abode. It'll only get better.
Dolan M. Styles says, well, it was fucking great. You guys bag on your first atheist Bible study all the time. It's really not bad at all.
Oh.
Let me explain this. For one, it is not as good as the rest of our stuff. But when we're bagging on it, mostly it's the technical details because the microphone we had is awful.
The microphone was it was on 2 laptops ago.
Right. It was
of mine.
Bad.
And no, the audio quality is shit. We didn't even clean it for white noise.
No.
The editing was a little rough. I actually put way too many pictures in there, and it took me forever to fucking edit it.
Yeah.
The audio cut was pretty rough. The music was kind of rough. I think our content, for the most part, the things we said was pretty good, but you could tell that we were trying really hard.
Yeah. Like if we were to do it today and remake the first episode, which I don't think
we thought about doing that,
but no, we wouldn't say a whole lot of different things. It's not necessarily the content. It was the presentation, and we weren't as comfortable speaking into a microphone. At this point, we're completely comfortable. This is just us talking, and you're here, and I don't care. But
no,
but at the time,
it's like second nature right now. But yeah, at the time we were kind of projecting. We're looking at my laptop. We're projecting into it really hard, and they're trying to, we're trying to really make our points because, especially Hugo was relatively new at being out about it. You were still you got a little bitchy with people pretty quickly at that time, still in your life. I was out for pretty much since high school, but never really focused on it.
Never had a discussion about it with people.
I had small discussions, but not like we do now.
Yeah.
And so I was just, you could tell if you listen to it again and you can hear the tone difference. We were just like ready to go. We want to say all the things that we have on our minds, and we want to get it out right now. Sorry. And but we take our time more now, and I think our thoughts are more collected, and obviously I think we're better at it because we're more comfortable, but
probably
also we have a rapport with you guys, so we can make a better sort of I don't know, we can be ourselves more, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's just so much better now.
It's natural. We're not trying as hard, which sounds bad. I think the quality's better, but we don't.
Fun fact, we used to record for an episode, and the first cuts of those are like roughly half an hour. We used to record 2 30-minute recordings because if we recorded over 30 minutes, for some reason the program we were using, it was using 2 USB ports.
Yeah.
And we had to sync it together. It was fucking terrible. But if we recorded for over like 35 minutes, it would fuck up and we'd lose sections of audio. So we had to record twice. And we did two 30-minute ones usually and cut those down to 25, 30 minutes I don't understand how we had so much fluffer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we were just really
We've
bad at it.
streamlined the process
Oh
to
man,
a ridiculous amount.
we probably cut 3 minutes out of an average Bible episode if we're not fucking around or someone doesn't walk in or
yeah. This person who Skeptic Spider again. How did you settle on the current microphone? Good question. This is a Yeti Blue microphone.
Awesome.
We got it because this is the top of the line amateur mic in my opinion. Because this is I think this particular one. $100.
I thought you got it for 80 though at Guitar Center.
We got it on sale. We have 2 of them. We only use one at a time, but we got 2 because we knew
We've
eventually.
used my other one a couple times when I've been out of town.
But if you're doing something like YouTube, you need at least something like this, I would say, because audio quality is important.
Right. And I think you guys can hear especially with this boom that we just got. This is like our 3rd recording ever with this.
Yeah.
And I think you guys can tell the difference.
Because before it was on the table, you can't see a table back there, but there's a table back there that we record normally at.
2-sided desk.
And we the microphone was in the middle, and anytime we like touched the table, there was this big boom.
Yeah.
And it was annoying.
We had to really mind our shit.
But yeah, Yeti Blue microphone, very good. They make higher end versions of the same mic, which we might upgrade to eventually, but for right now this works fine.
We just got this sock for it, which is really cool.
we had pop filters, but
they were like coming off the side, and they weren't made for this. They were like coming off the sides, and it was, I mean, we had about 2 square feet of just not usable space, and they would like fall because they were loose. It was kind of janky for a little bit. This is obviously the most professional setup we've ever had.
Which is still, look, there's still wires.
I know.
Normally they go up. There's like clamps and they go up around and up and down.
Yeah,
but because of the laptop setup right here, we had to do this. But yeah, Yeti Blue, very good. There are cheaper, if you wanted to get into like YouTube, there are cheaper ones you could start out with.
This is the minimum I'm willing to go now.
This is the minimum if you're like doing it for a job, I'd say. But if you're just making YouTube videos in your spare time, either if you have a camera with its own shotgun mic that you buy separately, those are generally pretty good. You can get those for like $30 to $50. Or you can find $50 standalone microphones on Amazon that are all right. They're not going to be as good as this. And even this right now probably sounds rough because we're doing this live. But once you clean it and stuff, this sounds pretty good, provided you know how to not get way too close or whatever.
Scream too loud. But we clean all of our audio in Audacity, which is a free program that does a really good job. You can take out the noise and kind of normalize volume levels because we're not always at the same distance that we, but if I do this and then I normalize it, it does a good job. You can still tell.
It's noticeable.
And then the equalization, if it's on stereo track, which is usually how we do it, it'll balance that to make it more well-rounded. I don't know. You get a richer sound, and I think we sound more close.
Sure.
Instead of I don't know, we've been echoey in the past, and so I really dig the current setup. Someone's Dolan M. Styles was going to give us a word salad. I like salad.
I don't like salad.
What kind of dressing do you put on a word salad? Is that like alphabet soup, but of salads? I know what a word salad is colloquially. I'm saying actually, if you had a word salad.
Yes, it's probably the alphabet soup of salad.
You just pour alphabet soup into a strainer and get rid of the sauce, and then put it on top of lettuce, and you're like, there you go.
No.
That sounds awful.
It does. You made it up.
Like SpaghettiOs on lettuce. Sounds just god awful. Are there any more people?
Dolan M. Styles, just keep making that motion, please, almost. If you're jerking off to us, I can get more naked if you really want to.
Yeah, I'm both wearing shorts. I'm not wearing underwear, I don't think.
I'm not.
Nope.
I got to do laundry.
Yeah, me too.
We didn't plan this. Not wearing underwear.
I just got new undies too. So croutons apparently go on a word salad.
Okay,
that's important. I was thinking the little like those Le Choy. They're like, you get them on Asian salads, which you've never probably eaten in your life.
No.
Like little soy things. I don't know. I think they're good. Anyone get the Oriental chicken salad from Applebee's? Those are delicious. They're terrible for you.
No, don't go to Applebee's. Applebee's is fucking trash.
If I go to Applebee's, it's for $3 shock tops.
I don't even know what that is.
A shock top is a beer. It's a wheat beer. Put a little orange slice in there. It's delightful.
No, I don't drink.
I know you don't.
All right. Do you think it's time to do that comic?
I don't know. I'm making sure that everyone got their question.
Well, we can come back to the end at the end and ask if anyone has more questions.
LOL. Get better comments, Lee Clemmer.
Bacon. I enjoy bacon.
Bacon on the salad?
Sure.
Put it on. So now it's not sounding so bad because bacon can It's pretty much SpaghettiOs in the shapes of letters, iceberg lettuce, croutons, and bacon. We're getting there. We're getting towards edible. I think if we took out everything but the bacon, we would be on our way.
That's just
we
bacon.
Just make a sandwich.
BLT. I remember when we worked at the last restaurant we worked at, there was this very, very large woman who would get BLTs every day on her lunch, minus the lettuce and the tomato, extra bacon. So we toasted her a bacon sandwich every day, and she was quite large.
What was her? Wait, did she work there?
Oh yeah, don't say her name if you remember it.
I think I do remember. Yeah. Did you get cheese on that? The cheese there was really good.
No, this is a good question. This is bugging me. Is Hugo missing a tooth? Not judging. I just want to know.
Oh
yes,
yeah, you are.
I am.
You used to have a fake tooth years ago. I forgot that you had no tooth there.
Yeah, and it didn't get knocked out or anything. It's a mutation. I just don't have that tooth. It used to be.
Did you have a baby tooth?
I did. I had a baby tooth there, but then it fell out, and there was no replacement for it. So yes,
you used to have when you started at the very first place we worked at together.
I had a fake one, but it went in like a retainer, and it bugged me, and I stopped wearing it, and then I lost it at KFC.
You lost it at KFC?
Okay,
you put it on a tray and just throw it.
So here's what happened. I was on a first date with someone.
Was it?
And by the way, before you say it, KFC, I know, weird. I don't even really like KFC, but she wanted KFC. So we went to KFC before we went to go see a movie or something. And I had the tooth, and you got to take it out when you eat. So I take it out, put it in a tray, accidentally threw it away. Had to dig through the trash at KFC to try and find it.
You took your fake tooth out on your first date?
You got it to eat. You can't eat with it in.
Why did you even wear it?
Because I was on a date and
You're self-conscious?
She knew me. It's not like she was surprised. I knew her.
Don't you have to say her name?
You met her. Very small girl. Yep. So there I was digging through the trash at KFC for my tooth. Didn't find it. And then later we were like holding hands or something, and I realized I didn't wash my hands, which she knew.
So you put your weird tooth hand on her hand.
My weird KFC trash hand.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Shock Top is not the best beer. Drag-a-voth. Shock Top is a good low to mid level beer. Blue Moon is below that. We're going wheat beers. I mean. You can do better than that. You can do Applebee's is not cancer.
Anakin fan 12002. What about Outback Steakhouse? I enjoy myself a bloomin' onion from time to time, as I think most people do.
You know what's the best thing there is the ahi tuna.
They have a focaccia sandwich, something.
Focaccia?
Focaccia? That was really fucking good. It comes with like the dipping stuff. It was really, really good.
Sounds good.
But I haven't been there in a long time. Maybe I should go back.
Hey, Chris the Humanist, thanks for doing what you do. You are welcome. We're like American heroes. What? Oh, there we go. Any flack from Jack Chick? He's never contacted us. I don't think they're aware of us, and if they are, they don't have any right to give a shit. Anyways, so
no,
it's good. Dentivist Duran, putting my tooth in tonight for you, baby. I imagine that's how you are. That's your dirty talk on
that same girl, because we did end up dating for a while, like 6 months or something. She was weird, but not like crazy weird, just like eccentric.
She was pretty quirky.
Weird. Yeah. She wanted to stick her finger in it just because she was curious how it felt. And she did. I feel like she did it with her tongue once too, just because she thought she was funny, and it was funny at the time. It was funny.
It's not that weird.
No,
I'd do that kind of thing. She's way more eccentric than I am, though.
Yeah, she's a strange one. I check up on her Facebook now and again. I think we all do that with exes occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes.
Man, she's. Bear in mind, she's older than me, by 4 years.
Was she really? I thought she was like your age. Like she looks really.
Well, that's because she's really short,
right.
And she still lives with her parents. And like, if you do, that's fine, but it's not like a financial issue. She just likes it. She has a job and stuff, but like, even when we were dating, she like spent all her time with her parents all the time, and it's fine. I get spending time with your parents. I hang out with my mom sometimes because she's
she's funny,
but
I think she wants to sex me a little bit.
I think she does. She makes jokes about boning you sometimes.
It's weird, man.
It is.
I'm not gonna fuck your mom.
I'm not asking you to. I wouldn't ask you to.
No, I mean, whatever you're into, I'm still not going to do it. I had a couple dates. It was a good date with this girl, and she didn't want to. I don't have a tooth missing, but she was weird, but not because she wanted to do weird shit to me and like stick fingers in my mouth. She was obsessed with fish.
Like sexually or just in general?
No, not sexually would have been actually more okay, because at least it's like, okay, it's at least like a carnal thing.
Sure.
And it's a drive. She just really liked fish. She was the cat lady of fish.
Was she the horse girl of fish? You ever met a horse girl who's just obsessed with horses?
Okay. Yeah, pretty much horse girl of fish, yeah. So she had this fucking huge aquarium. And it was a saltwater aquarium, and she worked at like a supermarket. I don't know how she had money she spent all of her money on the weird fish. Anyways, so she would buy all these fucking crazy fish and try to talk to me about them, and I'm like, I don't care about the fish at all. And she thought I was mean, and I'm like, no, I just really
don't care about the fish.
I don't care about the fish. And then I was like, I thought maybe it would be cool. You seem nice, and you are, but we're just not. It's not a thing that we're gonna do anymore. And she like lost her mind for like a week. We only went on like a date and a half. It was weird.
Maybe you reminded her of a fish.
Well, it's not like we did things. It's not like she had any reason to remorse my loss. We just talked. Maybe she didn't have anyone to talk to about her fish.
Maybe.
She was like best friends with her mom though too. It's always weird.
All right, comic. Is it comic time?
It looks like it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a screen share, so you're gonna be able to see the comic, but you won't be able to see us anymore, at least until the end. We'll come back at the end, but we're sorry you don't get to look at our beautiful mugs anymore.
Yeah.
Let me get my screen share set up.
Okay.
I'll just be over here.
Do I have to fill time?
Yeah.
Do I have to
fill time?
Do I have to
fill time?
I don't have any skills. I don't have any. I don't have. Look at this. Look at this shitty pillow Hugo has. And his girlfriend. Look at this shitty.
I got it on
pillow.
vacation.
It's a wolf. It's a shit pillow. It's pointless. Why is it here?
We got it at Great Wolf Lodge, which is a vacation resort.
I know where it's at.
Well, they don't.
It's a shitty, stupid thing.
Anyway, the thing's ready if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Cool. I'm glad that worked seamlessly.
So what is this? I don't know what this is.
This is Truth for the Youth is what it's called, and you know it's going to be good with that kind of title. They do comics like comic books. It's like this as opposed to Jack Chick style.
Sure.
And I think they're online only because they don't really have traditional covers like a comic book. They have this sort of thing.
It's weird. The animation. I know every time we say animations, the artistry is a lot better than a Chick tract in my opinion. It actually looks like a good comic layout. Like they have good boxes, and I don't know, it just seems better. Although the dialogue I have read, not good. Nope. Okay. What are you looking for?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at comments people were leaving still. See what they want to say. Let's see. Let me read again.
Is that a wolf? Yes.
Yes, it's a wolf.
Crazy fish lady. That's not a... Lee Clemmer, you are dropping the fucking ball tonight. That one got away. Nah, I'm good. How long do you think it will take to get through the Quran and the Book of the Mormon next? Same amount of time it's going to take through the New Testament. Roughly, it's about the same size. Yeah, you're right. Chick tracts are not good for art, but it's okay. So here we go. I've not read this whatsoever.
I skimmed it.
Can I be the wait, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the probably Asian kid or the obviously black kid?
I'll be the Asian kid.
Okay.
Hey, look at this, Rashad.
Rashad! Where are you going? Awesome critter, dude.
I'd sure hate to run into him at mealtime.
Yeah. Tyrannosaurus.
It's a nice museum, though.
Look at that faceless tour guide. He's rad, too.
If this were a Chick tract, that would be God leading this museum tour. Whoa, check out this display. It's the missing links.
Wow, they're so well preserved. They're realistic looking. He's the friend with the annoying laugh. In my head, that was the canon
I get it.
I was going with. Let's go, Vince. They're just ignorant. Why does it suddenly look like a Speed Racer comic?
I know. I feel like he's also a little bit in a relationship with him because he's like, come on, Vince, they're just ignorant.
Come on, Vince. Let's get out of here. Chad and Buck are they're just joshing you. They're just trying to rouse.
Not just ignorant, they're racist.
They're racist?
I'm surprised they didn't make some crack about us swinging through the trees.
Wait, both of you swinging through the trees?
Is it a racial stereotype by anyone that Asians swung through trees?
I mean, I've heard the terrible monkey things that people say about black folks, but not ever Asians.
No.
Is that the thing that I've missed?
It must be. Maybe it's like maybe it's a thing Russians say about Asians because they're closer.
The closer white people.
Yeah,
I got it. What can you expect when they're taught that man evolved from apes?
Say what?
I know, girl. I think man evolved from apes.
That's a nice necklace, though. That's a very 2004 necklace.
It's like he had the hookah necklace. Puka, whatever, the shells.
Hookah necklace.
It was puka. Hookah is the thing that hipsters do. The puka, and then he upgraded after NSYNC broke up. You gotta. Zoom
I know.
out.
I gotta zoom out to go to the next one.
This is like an establishing shot. Look at that. It's like ooh, and then we zoom in.
I don't know why it makes me do this. Fucking.
I don't know, but it's
Windows 10, my friend. Actually,
this is the kind of stuff.
Here's a free plug. Microsoft Windows 10 is actually pretty good. If you can upgrade to it, I'd suggest it.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll have to do that. You should go up to my lines. That's better.
I'm trying to zoom in.
Oh,
there we go.
Wow, this is HD quality. Didn't you know that evolution is basically a racist concept? Some evolutionists still teach that white people evolved from Negroes, air quotes Negroes, who evolved from apes, meaning white people are more evolved. With that sort of weirdness being spread around, it's no wonder people act the way they do.
There's so much wrong with what he just said. Okay, I would like you to find me one. First of all, evolutionist is a term that creationists made up to describe people who know what science is.
Is creationist on par with that, though? I've never thought about that.
No, but a creationist is someone with a very specific set of beliefs, and they're in the minority, and they're believing something that goes against what the evidence tells us. Evolutionist, it's not like someone who's an evolutionist
has
by
dogma.
Their own definition. Yeah. No, it's just, I see the evidence, evolution.
White people. I've never heard the white people from black people, though.
I
think that's because they're like, well, we originated in Africa.
During slavery, I've heard some people talk about the fact that makes it sound like I'm a fucking vampire that was around during slavery, but you know what I mean.
Like Tom Cruise.
Like from what I've...
In Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah, from what I've seen, there was some justification, basically like, we're better than them, we're more highly, not necessarily evolved, but,
it was a translation probably from social Darwinism.
It might have been, I don't know. Anyway. Did you already do that one with that sort of weirdness?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm not paying attention to what's going on. Sorry. Also,
this is why we
for any Ben 10 fans, that guy's got the Omnitrix.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He's going to become forearms and smash the museum up.
Okay.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm going to pretend that I'm also a nerd.
Statistically, maybe one person out there knew what I was talking about, and they're like, ha ha ha, Ben 10, what a great ref. Anyway, but man's evolution from apes isn't...
Whoa! Oh, okay. We need to bitch about that guy for a second. Did you hear that?
I don't know if you could hear it. Motorcycle asshole outside of our apartment drives by about 7 times a day, super loud, speeding. We have to edit that shit out of our videos like all the time.
Motorcycle douche. She'll probably drive by a couple more times because that's how he is.
Yeah. I'm just checking the comments again real quick.
Clown sounds because of it's a circus. But...
That was the hold music. Okay, no, there are no more good comments yet. So
you guys suck.
Step your game up. But man's evolution from apes isn't racist. It's a proven fact. Yeah.
So the Asian kid is on our side
for right now. Yeah.
For right now. Okay. Until I convert you. Wait, his hair's different now.
It's anime. Nothing's consistent.
Okay. No way! There are still lots of gaps in the historical record. with many ideas ending up being disproved or shown to be outright frauds. Look at all those faceless people. You think they evolved?
No, they were created by some sort of hell spawn.
There's no genetic benefit to not having a face.
Also, I like that what he's describing, the gaps and things being disproved, shown to be frauds, that's also called science.
That's how it works.
You disprove things, you falsify bad things. That's how it works.
Yeah,
if you don't do that, you end up with things like creationism that just reinforce things you already believe. Going down.
Excited. For example, look at these displays. Ramapithecus was proven to be an extinct type of orangutan. Australopithecus was dismissed as just another ape. Piltdown Man was a hoax created by putting together an orangutan skull cap and a human jawbone.
The Australopithecus one is always weird to me. Isn't that what Lucy was? Australopithecus afarensis?
I believe so.
No, it wasn't. That's still...
Yeah, we went through this entire list that he's probably going to go through with Aaron Raw on that one chick track. And this is normally the time where it'd be like, links in the description, but it isn't.
Piltdown Man, I believe, was the hoax. The one that was the hoax. So. Which is fine. You can go ahead and point that out, but that doesn't mean the other things are false, too. Right. It's not. That was a hoax, and hoaxes happen in science, especially around that time. There was a lot of that kind of stuff.
Also, I'm pretty sure the guy that did that, if I remember Aaron talking about it correctly, was either a creationist or failing and really needed grant money.
That was one of the... I don't think they ever found out definitively who
talked
did
about
it.
two of them, or if I remember.
Anyway.
But what about Neanderthal Man, Java Man, which is just a barista, and Peking Man?
That was my line, but okay.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
I understand. It's
terribly
pointing
right into his solar plexus.
I know. I believe you, but
well,
it's
what
okay.
about those?
Respond to yourself.
Well, I was saying those out loud as if you were to ask. I had a teacher in woodshop that used to do that. He used to be a question talker. He'd be like, "And what is ashwood?" "This is ashwood." Anyways, he smelled like bad breath and Reese's cups.
Reese's cups are good though.
He had his stomach stapled because he was like 400 bills, and he would eat candy like all day long, which I guess is something you can do now. All have now been reclassified as Homo erectus. Gay boner? Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Or Homo sapiens. Gay sapiens?
Sure.
Okay. In other words, ordinary men.
Homo erectus, far from an ordinary man. That's why it's Homo erectus and not Homo sapien. And no, not everything has been classified as either under Homo erectus or Homo sapien. That's outright false.
There's no missing link because the Bible says God created humans in his image. Also, I would like to point out he's got that little thing over his nose and cheeks, which usually in anime means that a tentacle is going to enter you forcefully.
Yeah. Maybe it's about to happen. The rest of his body isn't in panel. Maybe he's getting penetrated by a tentacle monster. We don't know.
You should move your mouse to the side.
Is it in the thing? Oh, sorry. That would annoy me.
Yeah, it was annoying me. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, a wacky creationist. And I always thought you were so rational.
Oh, I am rational, friend. Actually, it's evolutionists who are irrational.
Huh?
See these flowers? What amazing intricacies and symmetries in them. You really believe they were created by mere chance? If we were at an art museum and saw paintings of these flowers, you'd be convinced there was a painter who painted it.
Okay, here's the difference. For one thing, if we're talking about coloring in flowers, that's evolutionarily advantageous because then bugs like bees can get the pollen, see them correctly, and take the pollen, and then it pollinates other flowers.
Mm-hmm. And also some colors are used to ward off things that would normally eat them.
Sure.
Kind of like frogs that mimic poisonous ones. They're not necessarily mimicking them. They were just frogs that were probably in the same group that didn't have the poison, but they still had the coloring. So by association, they are also safe. Or
they happen to start looking like them a little bit, and the ones that looked more and more like the thing converge in evolution. Anyway, the art museum thing, you get the same thing. This is just the clockmaker argument, or the watch on a beach argument, but done with a painting.
It's irreducible complexity.
It's not. It's the issue is that if you go and see a painting in a museum, the reason you know there's a painter is because you know what a painting is.
Yeah.
It's not because it's complex. It's because
there's only one universe, so we don't have precedent for any other universal causes besides we don't know yet.
Yeah, so it's a bullshit argument. Matt Dillahunty has talked about this time and time again on the Atheist Experience.
Us, so.
He really is. I've met the guy. Great guy.
Does magic. Fun guy. We're going to actually be with him in East Texas in October, first week of October, if I remember correctly. We're going to be doing a live Chick Tract reading.
Yeah.
So if you live in Texas, one of 21 people,
sure,
hang out with us. Why is it that you can't look at the flowers themselves and say there must be an intelligent designer who created them? Why can't you look at artifacts in this museum and conclude there must be a creator who was behind it all?
Because we understand how flowers grow, and
normally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's things we don't know. But I know what a flower is, and nothing about it explicitly screams designer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You gotta, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I like it.
Okay, so maybe there was a creative force that started all, but how do we know the Earth developed and evolved from eons afterwards, just like the experts say?
Did you say the Earth evolved?
Yeah.
Okay. And who says those experts are experts? Were they there at the beginning of time to see how it all happened? This is like the most basic run through of these arguments I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, fun fact, Ken Ham used to be a black child. But the were you there argument is trash because no one will. I mean, if you evenly applied that rationale to everything, then you couldn't ever
really
confidently believe anything ever about anything you weren't there to see. And you can't do that. You have to have some sort of standard of evidence. And that's why science is important, because it provides us with tools to test things and see the results of them in the present without actually having to be there. Whereas you're just saying, well, you weren't there, but Jesus was or something. But then how do you know that the person who wrote the thing in the Bible was there? Were you there when that was written? Ken Ham, stop it.
Shut up, you liberal shitlord. Just because a bunch of noisy people keep saying the same things over and over doesn't make them right, and it doesn't make them experts.
Says the creationist.
But one kid on a bus saying it does.
This is very authoritative, though.
You're up.
I know, I was just reading comments. I'm just checking in on you guys. Making sure you're all cared for. This is very important to me.
No.
Come on, Rashad. Carbon and potassium argon dating prove that the Earth is hundreds of thousands, even millions of years old. Billions.
Yep.
Billions. If you're gonna bullshit and say something isn't true, at least get right what you're saying isn't true. And by the way, potassium and carbon dating are not the only forms of radiometric dating that are used. In fact, there's many different ones that they all cross-examine, and that's how you get an average date. I think it's, is it 3.6 or 4.2 billion years? I don't remember. I apologize. I'm not a scientist.
Actually, the carbon-14 and the potassium-argon dating methods have proven to be amazingly inaccurate at times. Amazingly inaccurate. I've studied this, Vince. I'm 13 years old, and you are 12. Living aquatic mosses in Iceland dated from around 6,000 to 8,000 years old by the carbon-14 method. In fact, most living marine specimens from the world's oceans date at least several hundred years old using carbon-14.
It's a good thing they don't date the Earth based on living ocean animals, then.
I know.
That's like saying, I was trying to use my speedometer on a rock, but it just didn't give me the right reading. You're correct. It's not made for the rock. Carbon dating is used specifically a specific way for a specific purpose to give an accurate reading. You can't just use it for random other things and then expect. It's not magic. It's not like we're going to test this in any single organism or thing ever, and it's always going to give an accurate reading. No, they use it in rocks and specific kinds of rocks and certain strata because that's the standardized procedures they've used to get accurate results in the past. Anyway, sorry.
4.6 billion years ago.
Is it 4.6? My B. Anyway. Even the man who... Wait, nope, still you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. Even the man who received the note... That almost looked like...
There's a car alarm going off in our... Oh, it stopped.
Power through. It looks like Nobel Prize, almost. Anyways, even the man who received the Nobel Prize for developing the carbon-14 dating system has noted that carbon-14 dates don't match other time clocks, such as tree rings, and the new highly sensitive accelerated mass spectrometer methods now show the inaccuracy of older carbon-14 datings and appear to confirm a young Earth creation flood model.
I'd love to get a citation for that from an actual reputable journal. Yeah, well, as I said, you need to take into account potassium argon testing.
Well, let me cut you off immediately. Okay, then let's take this into account. A lava flow from Hawaii, historically dated at 1801 AD, gives a date of 1.1 million years by the potassium argon method.
Yeah, it's probably dating the lava because it's fucking older than the eruption.
Shut up.
Anyway, there's some flaky dating here and there. There's still a mountain of scientific evidence,
much of which contradicts other evidence and theories. And then there's the stuff that scientists have had a hard time explaining, such as fossilized vertical trees transcending several strata that supposedly represent millions of years of evolutionary development. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with maybe they fell down.
What, like creationists can, right?
Yeah, or maybe they got trapped in there during some sort of seismic activity.
Whatevs.
Definitely wasn't that.
Good comment by Hapless Pete. Rashad, I think we should see other people.
Why do you want to... What's your character's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
What can we call him?
Asian Pete.
Oh, good. Asian Pete. We can work this out.
Sure.
Listen to this. When Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980, tree trunks were sheared off and flowed down the hill. They waterlogged when they stopped and tipped upright in the water. One layer of soot and ash dried around it, and then another, and soon those trees were trapped between several different layers. So did you just give a reason why, like, that would happen?
Maybe.
The thing he just said shouldn't happen?
Wow, so maybe the strata on the hillside didn't take millions of years to form. Geologists know the difference between a volcano, a quick event, and geological long time scale building of strata, you fucking moron.
No, it happened in a very short period of time, most likely during Noah's flood.
Oh, and I'm sure you have plenty of reason to believe that's real.
Yeah. Bible stuff. During Noah's flood, oh, that's you. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm sorry, Asian Pete. I've been stealing your lines.
It's okay. During Noah's flood, right. And for a minute there, you were almost starting to convince me.
Let's talk about the Grand Canyon, probably. Look, Vince, I know that may sound unscientific to you, but science isn't the ultimate source of truth. We'll always be on somewhat shaky ground when we are using man-perceived scientific truth to argue these points, because those truths will often change in the face of newer research. Because that's bad. It's bad to change your opinion when new things happen. Ultimately, one must believe in and accept the truth through faith in God, not mere human argument. So why are you arguing?
Yeah, but also, if shaky human perception or whatever isn't a means to derive truth, then how did you derive the truth that the Bible is the truth?
Because that was sturdy human means. You silly bitch.
In other words, you've run out of real evidence for me.
No, Vince. These are plenty of other examples. Oh, he's gonna go through them. That was weird. Anyways, I haven't even begun to talk about how it makes more sense that everything on Earth tends to flow from order to disorder, not the other way around. I don't think
the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy only works in a closed system.
Yeah.
The sun is an energy source. Plants take in that energy, photosynthesize, then herbivores eat that and carnivores eat that. When taking in energy, it allows not entropy to flow in reverse, but it allows things to become more complex. Eventually, the sun will burn out, and then entropy will continue unimpeded. The entropy of the universe as a whole is continually going up. That's just how it is. Certain pockets of what you would call order, if you want to call it that, don't disprove thermodynamics. Not to mention thermodynamics mostly apply to, physics.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you leave a bicycle outside, it will eventually rust and fall apart. Bicycles did not become motorcycles except by the design of a creator. If they were biological entities and it was more beneficial for them to be motorcycles, they might.
Probably.
That's probably how Transformers happened. Yet even the simplest bioorganisms are much more complex than a bicycle. Yes, they are. That's correct. And you're supposed to believe that humans eventually evolved from that?
Yep.
Well, we're made of them. You can look at them. You
Yep.
can...
Not to mention, even the simplest life on Earth today is leagues more complex than the first life.
And I found out the other day from a friend of mine who works, he's in the pharmaceutical field. He's going to Fair State University, if anyone knows what that is. He was talking to me about the other day about how they're pretty sure that like mitochondria and stuff was a separate thing from cells, and then over time they're like a symbiote sort of thing, and then it just kind of happened that they all work together. So mitochondrial pieces, organelles, kind of happened over time, and there's evidence for it that they met and then decided that, well, didn't decide, but
it was beneficial.
Ended up working out better being one. Isn't that interesting?
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just checking the number of pages. Okay. Aha, okay.
Almost done. All right. Look at that monkey. I'm afraid somebody's making a monkey out of you, dude. Turning a frog into a prince should only be reserved for fairy tales. Boom!
What you say sounds so right.
It does.
But why aren't they teaching creationism in school?
That was the leap you took from this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Asian Pete. I didn't mean to distress you. Because most evolutionists see creationism as being primarily a religious issue, and to them, religion doesn't belong in our public schools.
They are correct.
Shut up, Asian Pete. But what they don't realize is they are letting their own religious belief of atheism override their examination of the facts. It's impossible to ignore the spiritual component to this. That implies that only atheists think evolution's a thing that exists.
Which is incorrect.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but this actually is starting to make a lot of sense.
Oh, it's not, Asian Pete.
Maybe this is a Speed Racer comic, and he's been hit in the head a lot of times in the races.
By Racer X.
But I don't think it will make much sense to our ignorant tree-swinging friends over there. I don't think they're open to rational discussion.
I don't remember their names. I think one was Buck. Well, that's a pretty decent example of just what I'm talking about. You know, when people want to hold tree branches and swing on them for fun. Two people can hear the exact same evidence and yet come to opposite conclusions. Shows us there's more than just science involved when considering the origins of the universe. At our core, it's hard to be truly objective.
And why is that?
Let
me get to the
cultural and
next page.
socioeconomical influences, along with religious ties in your local community. Because the Bible says the human mind is the most deceitful of all things. It is incurable. No one can understand how deceitful it is. Did he pull out his youth Bible? Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Nice. So we all struggle with our sin in our lives, and because all people have sinned, they have fallen short of God's glory.
Sin, you Christians are so depressive.
But there's good news, Asian Pete.
He has that tentacle rape face again.
I know.
And again, his body's off panel, so...
It was a little bit of tentacle.
Do you think the tentacle monster evolved?
No.
Benevolent creator?
I think he's just always been, and always will be.
It's the spaghetti monster.
Inside you. Tentacly. God knows our struggle, and he loves us anyways. He sent his own son, Jesus, to die for us our sin, blah, blah, blah. He did the thing, and he died, and he came back. Is that great news?
Sure, that's great news. You mean I don't have to earn God's love?
Nope. You can just receive it by placing your trust in Jesus as your Savior and the Lord. And the Bible says something about Jesus.
I'm convinced.
Good. That was really simple.
I'm sure my Buddhist or Taoist parents will be incredibly happy to hear about this.
They want you to get A's, not B minuses.
God, thanks for creating the heavens and the earth. I'm sorry. I turned my back on you by believing in man's theories instead of your truths. I'm placing my trust in Jesus from now on. Thanks for your forgiveness and for saving me for all eternity.
Amen. Do you like the caveman statue I made?
It's nice.
I sculpted that.
It's incredibly inaccurate, but I do like it.
Nah, it was more like it was just an art. I took artistic liberties with it. What team do you think that guy plays for? Green Bay Packers.
Sure. Is there a number 99? What position does he play?
I assume he plays defensive tackle or end.
Oh, that's
or
good.
Maybe a linebacker, because those are the eligible numbers to play those positions. However, that is not an accurate representation of an NFL team. Maybe it is an Oregon Ducks jersey, in which case he could play any number of positions because college does not have the same number rules.
I don't give a fuck about anything you just said.
I know.
All right, we'll go back to our wonderful faces for you. There you go. All right.
Ah, yeah.
So hope you enjoyed that comic.
That comic was pretty much the same as the Big Daddy Chick Tract we did.
It was more. It was simpler. At least this one gave it stupidity in clear lines and only gave you one thing at a time that you could then tackle and be like, no, you're wrong, and here's why. Big Daddy kind of had a lot of arguments all at once that you had to trudge through. So that's that. There are a couple more of these that we might do on future Patreon things, just because I don't know if I want to do these on the normal channel, just because they're a little shorter.
Also, they're really simple.
They're simpler, which don't get me wrong.
We can get more out of a Chick Tract though, and we feel like, well, we're putting them up on, I don't know, we get paid for it. It feels, I don't know.
Yeah, plus
I'd rather put more content up.
Here we can like bullshit more because it's you guys and we're live and you understand that and we can just kind of talk.
Right. I'm actually really glad that we didn't fuck up very much because we tend to fuck up. The Bible studies would be awful live. You guys would hate that. It'd be so fucking frustrating to listen to, especially when you get into like names.
Yeah, I'm really bad at doing the whole name thing. So we're going to have to wait a minute for the lag because I can see where you guys are and you're still on the comic right now. But they're behind, so it doesn't matter. I know, but that's what I'm saying. So we'll talk for a little bit. But once you guys get to this point, ask us some more questions and we'll take a couple more, maybe talk a little bit. And then it's been a little over an hour, so it's probably about time to close up. But
we'll hang it up when we're done with you guys. What's a Y hole? Did Chris the Humanist miss that? Or is this a real question? A Y hole, if you did miss the episode, Chris the Humanist, was, you know those incisions that morticians make on cadavers? Well, and then it goes like this, and then down here, and that's so that you can open up the chest cavity and see all the organs and, do your thing and then sew them back up. In a Chick Tract, a child died. I think he committed suicide or got raped to death. I don't remember what the implication was. And we made a joke about the mortician fucking the hole, and I'm not proud of it.
No, I'm not proud of it either, but here we are.
What happened, and that was, I guess I'm not going to apologize for it.
They're talking about the Lisa track.
We're not doing Lisa, man.
No, it's people saying that's horrendous, which you're right. Lisa is awful. Lisa's not even funny. And we've made jokes about everything, but Lisa's not really funny. That's like something we would do maybe for like something like this, where it wouldn't be on the general channel and we wouldn't make fun of it as much. We'd just be like, look at how fucked up this is.
I know.
Because it's real fucked up.
Yeah, this person's learning more about football. Also, you can use the numbers in the 70s for linemen and 60s. 60s, 70s, 90s.
Did someone seriously ask about the fucking football things?
Yeah. Also, and linebackers can be in the 50s and the 90s. Wide receivers can be 1 through 19, and then in the 80s, quarterbacks can be 1 through 19. Running backs can be in the 20s through 40s. What else? Cornerbacks, 20s, 30s, and 40s as well.
This is the most boring thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. So there you go. Learned all the things.
Wow, they vanished. Who vanished? Did we vanish?
Are we vanished?
No, because I can see us.
Yeah, I can see us. You vanished. You fucking vanished. Anyways, nothing's more frustrating than seeing you guys with your shirts on sexually.
You wouldn't want to see me with my shirt off.
I have some chest hairs.
I have stretch marks. That's because you've
lost some weight.
I've lost almost 30 pounds in the last couple months.
Not bad.
So yay me. Hopefully the stretch marks will go away eventually.
I don't know if that's how that works, but
we're not getting really any more questions, so I think it's probably about time to end it.
Are we going to end it?
I think so. We've been on for
Yay, Jake.
We've been on for an hour, 10 minutes roughly. I think that's probably good.
Yeah.
Hugo looks so interested. Oh, now we're starting to get things. Yeah, that numbering thing was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
There was a glitch on your end, Lee Clemmer.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'll give it, let's say, 5 more minutes. Let's do 5 more minutes because I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Having a good time.
So, do I have any
Hashtag
pictures?
feline AIDS. Do you have funny? Oh, I don't know if I want to go through your picture. Oh, well, it's on. We're not screen sharing yours, so it's fine. It's fine. Why do you have good pictures?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Okay. Moobs. Squeeze the moobs. How did you lose that much? By eating less calories.
Yeah, I've been using
He doesn't do anything
to lose weight.
Not,
I've been using
not exercise.
what's the name of the app? Let me
Pal.
check. Yeah, it's MyFitnessPal, their calorie tracker. I've just been eating. You put in how much weight you want to lose and how much you like, how tall you are and stuff, and it gives you like calories you should eat in a day, and then you track everything you eat. I've been eating under 1,500 like minimum or 1,500 maximum a day, and I've lost quite a bit of weight. And you just got to make sure, like, I take a multivitamin now too, because if I don't, I won't get nutrients and stuff. But yeah, that's what I do, and it's been working really, really well for me. So if anyone out there wants to lose weight, like, just make sure you track your calories. Don't eat a bunch of stuff. Portion control. I used to eat like an excess of 3,000 or more calories a day, probably.
Also, you don't do a lot of things.
No, especially because we do this for a living now. I don't go out a whole lot. That sounds. I go out like to the store and I do stuff with like my girlfriend.
Hermit, but I just mean, well, also you're not really interested in things that would take any more strenuous activity for the most part. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that. You kind of have to. I read something. Oh, the Teespring. Teespring about. Are you going to do a Teespring for the Quran Reloaded like we did with TBR? Yeah, I imagine so. We don't have a logo.
We have some pretty good. You got actually, since this is a Patreon only thing. Do you want me to show them some of the Quran Reloaded designs?
Sure. Do you have them all in one file?
No, but I can jump around. Someone asked, "Have we seen the Fantastic Four movie? Is it bad?"
No,
I'm not going to see Fantastic Four. The reviews are just abysmal. I'm not going to see it. I'm just not. I don't want to give it money.
Enough bad movies this year. It's not worth it. Also, they're doing Ultimate Fantastic Four, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, which is fine because I didn't like the original story anyway, where they got gamma radiated in space.
It's not gamma. It was just some sort
whatever.
of whatever.
I don't know, but like that matters really.
No.
They did like a time teleportation.
The alternate,
the negative zone.
Negative zone. Yeah.
But and Dr. Doom looked like shit. And,
yeah, he looked really bad.
Also, the Fantastic Four is really fucking lame.
It is.
Johnny's the only cool one because he's on fire.
Mr. Fantastic is good when he becomes the fuck is he called?
I don't know.
In the Ultimate Universe, he became evil, and I think he killed members of the Fantastic Four or something. I forget. He has a weird helmet now, or he did. They're doing a whole reboot of the comics universe.
I don't know.
But he's actually all right. But he's an asshole. So.
Gotcha.
Let me check the comments one more time, and then we'll probably go.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think they're done.
All right.
It's all right. Used to have a lighthearted bent. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Anyway, so thanks all of you. Seriously, like we said at the beginning, the patrons are what helped the show run. We couldn't do the show without that because it's our full-time job at this point, as we said. If you have any more questions for us, we'll get to it next month because this is going to be a monthly thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Until next time, I'm Hugo. It says so. I'm official. It has my name. Look at Hugo.
Down there.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm Jake.
And this has been the Bible Reloaded
our Patreon
live.
That was weird. This
is my freeze frame. This is my freeze frame.